Yo, what I was going to yap about today, or I'm probably going to do it anyways. What I'm going to yap about today is uh, about a new book that I've started reading called Thinking Fast and Slow. It's a really interesting book as of right now, honestly. I've just started yesterday, so I haven't really read that much. But you see, I always take notes when reading, right? And honestly, this book is it uses more advanced vocabulary, so I find it difficult. I mean, I understand it, but like I find it difficult to write it in less difficult words. So I don't know. I would just try. Basically, he started off by saying that there are two systems. One system operates like automatically, very quickly, and requires almost no effort or little to no effort. And the second system is used when there's like an effortful mental activity, like when an activity demands effort, mental effort. And what else? The first system, it generates four things: feelings, impressions, intentions, and intuition. Yeah, yeah, intuitions. And the second system, it takes these suggestions and either applies them with little or with no modification, or um or right, or no, hold up, I'm mixing things up. If it approves the intentions and intuitions, hold up, if it improves the impressions and intuitions, yes, right, it turns these into beliefs. So what you believe, obviously. That's crazy actually to think about. And also like impulses turn into voluntary actions. Like for example, you you feel hungry, so you go eat something. The first one, the feeling of hunger is the first system, and the and you going to eat something is the second system. And it's crazy. Like when I think like it's crazy. Okay, hold up. Actually we'll get to it. Also, what I read about right now, like recently, because just before recording this, I read a few pages, so that's why I'm also talking about it. The first system is good at like what was the verb? Integrating, right? Integrating information about one thing, just about one thing. But it also sucks at doing the same thing for multiple different topics. So the first system is good for, I don't know, information about one thing, but it sucks at keeping information or integrating information about multiple things. And the first system is also, it can also detect like small similarities. For example, if you see two guys standing next to each other, your first system will notice, oh, that one is taller than the other, and that's like such small things. Or when you see, I don't know, two people and they look the same, you're like, oh, they're probably siblings, right? So those kinds of things. Or for example, another example, like two people standing next to each other, and or like a group of people, and two of them are wearing the same clothes. You That's the first system, just you noticing this. And the second system is more right. The second system also is in charge of self control, basically overcoming these suggest these suggestions, right? that your first brain gives. So, for example, you feel hunger and you go eat, but you can also not eat right now because you have something else to do first, right? Or just with any feeling, right? So self-control. I don't know why I explained it. And also the second system, it can follow rules and compare objects like on multiple attributes, not just like one thing, but it can like multiple information, multiple pieces of information, and also on two different things, as I said. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right. And then triggering, like those two systems, they're always active, always. But the first system, obviously, because it's automatic, obviously it's always active. But the second system, it's always also always active, but in a like low effort mode. Because like, because I don't know, it would be way too like you'd be way more easily tired if every action you do requires your attention, right? So, right, for example, what was an example? Right, system one is usually like it happens and you have no control over it. No control, zero. It just happens. For example, you're outside and you hear a random sound, a very loud sound, and you realize the sound, you hear it, and that is system one. If you would like turn your head or talk about it with your friend, then that would be system two, acting. But even if you don't act, like if you don't look towards it or talk with your friend about it, you're the first thing will still happen. You will notice it, and the only way, or the only way that I've read about, maybe he'll talk about another way, but he only mentioned this. The only way to kind of temporarily at least disable the system is by the lightnings, the sun is the brightness. I don't know. It's annoying, Loki. Anyways, the only way to temporarily disable it is by putting your full attention onto a mentally challenging task. For example, I don't know if you've seen it, but like I do remember there was a time when this one video was going viral. Oh my god, I can't speak. It was basically two teams, black team and white team, and the task was like count the amount of passes between the white team. And during the video, there was a person in a gorilla suit walking through the screen for like 10 seconds, for literally half the video. And then at the end of the video, it said like, here's the correct number of passes. Also, did you notice the gorilla? And like, so many people didn't notice it. I didn't notice it too, and that's like kind of crazy. Like, it should be obvious if there are only humans and suddenly a gorilla is walking by, or especially standing in the picture and doing motions. That's crazy. So yeah, when putting all your attention or most of your attention onto a task, you can be blind. It's as simple as that. And you can also be blind to your own blindness. You wouldn't have realized that there was a gorilla if no one had said like uh, most wouldn't have like watched the video again and be like and suddenly notice the gorilla, right? Because they are focusing on the task, so you're blind to your own blindness. Damn it. I don't know. Always aware. Yeah, I already said it. Yeah, easy. And today I read about like the second part of the chapter, which was attention and effort. Attention and effort. He basically mentioned like a task you can do if you want to see your second system work at, I don't know, if you just want to see your second system work. And it was actually interesting. And he also said like, okay, basically the task was uh, get multiple pieces of paper, write a 4-digit number on each paper, and only on one side of each paper, and then put a blank, like then stack them up, and the number has to show be on the side that's visible if you look at it, and then you put a blank paper on top of it, and then you set a certain rhythm. For example, every 2 seconds you grab a new card, or every 2 seconds you grab a new card. Okay, yeah, okay. So then you remove the blank card, you look at it, say the number out loud, and then you have to add one, for example, to each digit. So, for example, if the number would be 5,290, so 5290, you would have to add one to each. So, out of 5290, 6301 would emerge. Basically, out of the five, so the 5 turns into the 1, 2 into 3, 9 into 0, and 0 into 1. And you would have to do so within a certain time frame. So, for example, those 2 seconds of time that you have. So basically, for each action, right? For each action, you get 2 seconds. You get 2 seconds to look at it, read it out loud, and then also 2 seconds to add one. And you can also increase. You don't have to add just one. You can add 3, for example, and that's like way more. That takes way more effort. And what is crazy is doing this task. It requires more effort than even if you would have to remember a 4-digit number for like 10 seconds or so, and your whole life. Like, for example, if I would take you and say, remember this 4-digit number for the next, you have 1 second to look at it, or 2 seconds to look at it, and if you don't remember it after 10 seconds, then you will die. It will still be less effortful than the other task, and that's crazy. I find it crazy. Right, and he also talked a lot about how the pupils I don't know how they react basically when working on mentally challenging tasks. Did I say it right? Oh my god, wait a minute. Wait a second. We got a new guest again. Bro, this dog, I swear. Right, and that happens only in the first 5 seconds. So when you work on a task that's mentally challenging, your pupils become wider or delayed. Delayed? Was it delayed? Yeah, delayed. New vocab learned again. You constantly have to increase your knowledge, whether it's vocabulary or just topics. Right, there's also the saying, the eyes are the window to the soul. Right. It was like that, wasn't it? I think so. And like, and he basically just showcased how this is also true. How based on the eyes you can see their work ethic basically, or how much effort they put into the task. Because for example, when in a conversation, it obviously doesn't require much effort. It doesn't require much attention, I guess, still, but it doesn't require much effort. And so your pupils stay the same. But for example, when you do this add 3 task, your pupils widen, I think it was up to 50% of its original size. And you can also see when people give up or found a solution, find a solution, because also then their eyes stop becoming wider and sometimes even shrink. Yes, and that reminded me of like you can actually see that, like for example, uh, I used to watch a lot of anime, right? And it would always be like when they're like really excited, their eyes would grow wider and wider, like when they're really trying to think about a solution, and then when they get it, like you can see it in their eyes, right? That something changes. And I think that was what I was also seeing in animes. So yeah. What else did I write? Oh, um, so even when you put most of your attention to a task, you still notice, like if the gorilla would have walked in at the right at the beginning of the video or right at the end of it, you would have noticed. But if it's happening during the middle, like around the peak where you around the peak of effort you put in, that's when you will become blind. But like if it would have said like task count the number of passes between the white team, and then I don't know, a second or two before they start passing, a black gorilla walks in, then you would have noticed it most likely. I also learned about the law of least effort. I mean, I kind of knew it, but like I get, yeah, I mean, like I know that people in general you usually take the easy way, and the law of least effort is basically saying the same. It says, or it states that mm, if there are multiple ways to reach a goal, eventually people will gravitate towards the one that takes the least effort. And well, that's basically the same as I just said. Right. What else? Yeah. And the last few things that I wrote is um, a way to decrease effort is either talent, or if you get more skilled at a task. Yeah, I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you're talented, you require less effort because I don't know, you're talented, and if you get more skilled at it, then it also becomes less effortful because you already know how it works. That makes sense. Then um, that was also an interesting, like it didn't give me like this realization of I don't know, martial arts anime, when they need a realization to break through to the next level, but like basically effort is cost, and if you are trying to acquire a new skill, that requires effort, obviously. So it requires the cost, and we all have a limited amount of effort. We all, like, because every day, obviously, at one point you're just gonna be tired and can't focus anymore. And if you want to acquire a new skill, the distinguishing factor as to why you're going to, like, the reason why you're going to learn it and not be like, nah, it's actually not that worth it, is because well, I basically already said it, because you weigh the, if it is worth your time, basically. Like, bruh, that's actually, what the fuck, bruh. He said it so fancily, and I thought it was something cool, but now that I say it like this, that's obvious, yo. Damn. Yo, I'm stupid. Right, but you also said that this means that laziness is built into our nature, because we balance like the benefits and the cost, if it is worth our effort. And for example, for me, right, cooking is my op. And I, up to, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, I would be like, I would rather starve than make my own food, because it was just not worth it to me, right? Now I do my own food, but only like 2 or 3 different meals, because those are worth it. They're tasty. They don't take much time, like 15-20 minutes, and yeah, it's worth it basically. Um, but cooking is still my hobby. Yo. Cooking is still my hobby. And the last thing that I wrote down, that also reminded me of something else actually. What I wrote down was switching from one task to another is effortful, especially under time pressure. And like especially the first part of that sentence, switching from one task to another is effortful. That also reminded me mm, of like the flow state, because in the flow state you also have to put your, like, to acquire, to reach this flow state, you have to put your whole effort, your whole attention into something. And if you are distracted by something, then you will lose your focus for at least the next 15 minutes, I think. And maybe it has something to do with that it also requires more focus. So until you regain this more effort, and until you regain this effort, basically you cannot enter the flow state again. But I don't know. That just reminded me of it. That it takes a lot of effort, and that you can't enter the flow state again instantly. Yeah, yeah. That's also like, because there are techniques, like work or study techniques, where you work for for example 20 to 30 minutes, take a break, and then do the same thing again, I think. And now, okay, I think I get it, because and then there's also like deep work sessions, but I think, but like those are completely two different things. Like like study sessions, okay, I get it, like 20 to 30 minutes. You want to keep your study sessions always so short, because of the primacy and recency effect. So basically the first and last thing, like you're more likely to remember the first and last thing instead of the middle. Yeah. um so when studying, it makes obviously more sense to use this technique. Like, since humans forget the most things that happen in the middle, it's better to study for a short amount of time, take a short break, 5 minute break, I don't know, and then do the same thing again. It's more effective this way. mm, but when working on like a bigger task, I don't know, that requires more effort, like for example you have to write a, I don't know, 2,000 word essay, or 2,000 word, you just have to write, for example, a long text. That would be better if you Then it would be better if you entered the flow state and just wrote, because you don't need to remember it, right? You don't. For what reason should you remember it? You're just writing, so that you get into this flow state of, I don't know, where you just work effectively, quickly. I don't know, just work good, do good work, right? And also, I do remember how I said yesterday, or how I asked myself yesterday, if jogging really clears one's mind, because a friend of mine said it, right? And well, I did jog yesterday, and I think I didn't get any thoughts whatsoever yesterday anymore. Like my mind was free. Mm, um, but maybe like today I don't see the effects because like I'm not too sure about the effects because for one I slept way more than usually, or I slept way more than any other day during the last few weeks. So that may also be a reason as to why today I'm like more focused, more I don't know, can just put more effort into a task. Maybe that has also something to do with it. So I'm not too sure about jogging clearing my mind. Yeah, I don't know. I just have to observe it the next few times that I jog. Damn, actually, damn, hold up. Tomorrow is about to be crazy when it comes to fitness because, damn, tomorrow is going to be crazy because you see, tomorrow, because every morning I do a back workout and do calisthenics. That is always a given. Um, then I'm also going to meet two friends. We're going to bike. I don't know, just randomly, at around 11:30, I think, or 12 p.m. around that time, 11:30, like really, really early, before noon. Before noon. Hold up, is noon midday? Hold up, am I stupid? Bro, I keep on forgetting basic ass words. Noon, meaning noon, 12 o'clock in the daytime, midday. Yeah, noon, bruh, fucking dumbass. Yeah, so early workout and calisthenics into, eating, doing my habits, walking with my dog, probably into biking, and then do the rest of my habits, easy peasy. And then in the evening, I was going to jog again. So 3 sessions of high intensity um, sports, I guess. Crazy. That's crazy. And then tomorrow, I have only two more, with today, 3 more weekdays left before I'm back to school, before I'm back to suffering, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna start being tough again. So, yay! Bro, I hate school, yo. See you.